Okay, so we just talked about the rainbow. Now we're going to actually talk about the rainbow purification system. So, who does most of the cleaning here? You do. Okay. All right. How often would you say you dust? One, two, three times a week? Three times a week? Okay. So, do you know what the dust actually is? No. Okay. So, every person, even while you're sitting here right now, you are shedding about 1 million skin cells per hour. Okay? That's a lot of dead skin that's coming off of you that you can't see. So obviously if stuff's coming off of you, dead skin and stuff of that nature, what's happening to it? It's settling. Well, when it settles, that creates dust. What eats the dust? Dust mites. How do dust mites? They're living organisms. Dust mites are actually small little spiders. So, my wife hates spiders, so of course this part of the demo, she starts cringing and looks at me for help. So dust mites, they're little spiders, they eat. When they eat, what happens after people eat? They defecate. What happens when they defecate? Later on in life, they die. So all of this is what leads to all the dust and just dirtiness throughout the house. So when you're dusting, you're cleaning up this constantly, okay? So if I could say that I could save you from doing that 1 to 3 times per week, would you be happy with that? Of course, I'm sure she would be happy with that too. So in order to do that, you need something to be able to kill and clean your air. Now, the Rainmate was great in that it can do a small room and it can help purify, but it doesn't actually kill and trap everything like the Rainbow system actually does. So, this is the Rainbow. Now, Cooper was good. Cooper was able to get into the water. Now, as you can tell, there's nothing in this water. This water came straight from your sink, so I didn't cheat and throw stuff in there just to kind of show you. So, if you look in the ground here, we're going to take this. Alright, so we're just going to latch down here, and then we're going to turn it on. Alright, so this is the low setting, okay? So, as you can see, barely on, you can barely hear it. It's not really that loud, it's not annoying to some, but it's not annoying for the most part. And as you can see, our high setting can be a little louder, but again, it's not overbearing. Now, you're not going to run it on its high setting all the time. What we say is about once a week you want to run it on high because that will, really intensify the cleaning of the air in the atmosphere. So we're going to normally run it on low. Now, if you put your hand on it, you can feel that it's actually sucking, wind in. It's actually working. It's pulling stuff out of the air. And when you pull it on high, you get that feel. It's not actually where it's turning, but you can actually feel it working. Here, why don't you try right here? So that's me on low. And again, it's not really annoying sound. It's not really going to be out of the ordinary if you did hear that. And then that's going to be on high. It's pretty strong, huh? Yeah, it's going to be a little strong whenever you're pulling stuff in. So normally you're going to run it just like this. You're going to run it on its lowest power, just to kind of get that constant circulation of the air. So if you see, we're going to be going like this. Now do you see all the dust coming in the air? That's that dust particles, and the Rainbow is actually pulling it into here, okay? Now, when it pulls it in here, it's going into the water. Now, this water is our Rainbows, our water-based system, okay? Now, what that means is that water traps the dust. If you think about it, whenever you're driving down a dirt road, and you're driving down and you see dust flying everywhere, okay? Well, what happens to that same road whenever it rain hits it? No dust comes up, right? Well, that's the same system with the Rainbow. The Rainbow pulls the dust in, and it traps all the dust and particles as they're in the air and traps it in there. That way, once you're done cleaning or you let this run a couple of days, you empty it, it's still going to pull everything in. So on the low setting, as you can see, it's pulling stuff in, but obviously it's not pulling in as fast as you would on high setting. So if you put it on high, it's really sucking it in there. It's sucking all those particles, all the dust, all the dead skin cells, and it's pulling it in out of the air and really pulling it in here. Alright, so again, we're just going to have it on low, mostly. Now, even on low, though, it's still pulling stuff in. This is where you want to setting you want to run for most of the day. You want to run it on this, pull it in while you're at work, while you're at the grocery store, while you're just around the house. Now, it's not only going to pull in dust mites. Now, I have two dogs, one of which sheds ridiculously, and you would think he wouldn't have hair after he shed it. And once we empty ours, his dog hair is also in here, so it's also going to pull that out of there as well. So it's not just working on dust. When you think about it, how much do you spend on just allergy medication, or asthma, or prescription costs and stuff like that? Okay, so about $20 a month, is that what you're saying? Okay. Well, the average person spends about $100 to $150 a year just on allergy medication alone. So when you think about it, we'll break it down. We'll be, a little unreasonable. I'll say $100 a year. Okay. So $100 a year. Consumer Reports has been around for 35 years doing research on these things, okay? And they concluded that a rainbow life expectancy is 32 and a half years. 32 and a half years. That's a pretty long time. And we're actually, which we're pretty proud of, the fact that the Asthma, Allergy and Friendly Association of America actually certifies this, because this traps 99.6% of the pollutants in the air. So 99.6% of those dead skin cells, those dust mites, dog hair, everything that's leading to you being sick is being trapped into here, okay? So that is why this is such a good thing for your health. So again, $100 a year times the life expectancy of a rainbow, it's $3,600 over 32 and a half years that you're not spending on allergy medication, okay? But even if you didn't have this, say you didn't have this, okay, and you're spending $3,600 over 30 years, what do you have to show for it? Right, nothing, because you're still going out and buying more allergy medication. You're still going out and buying more products to help you sleep, to help you breathe, and stuff like that, but you don't have anything to show for it except a headache, because money is just coming out of your wallet, okay? Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have enough money to go around for money to come out of my wallet. So you really want to make sure that you're getting the bang for your buck. Another good thing, which is my favorite part of this thing, it can help with snoring. I don't sleep. I have issues sleeping at night. And my wife does not help that some days because she snores. This right here, we have another scent that we have is eucalyptus. Put this into your room, you throw it in there, you put it on high for about 15 minutes before you go to bed. Leave it in there, watch that 15 minutes go by, you run it on low, you leave it sitting in there, and guess what? It will actually help with snoring. Because eucalyptus, if you go into a herb shop, you go to a holistic doctor or anything like that with migraines, snoring, headache, any kind of breathing issues, they're going to give you eucalyptus, okay? Because eucalyptus is a natural ingredient to help all of that. So when you throw it in there, you put it in your room at night, it will help cut down snoring. And I promise you, within a couple days, I could tell a difference in her not snoring as much. And believe me, it helps me. So you really, it cuts down on all that, because it will help you breathe, because you're not breathing in all those toxins, you're not breathing in all those dust and all those debris and just the fecal matter. You're not breathing all that into your system because your system can't break it down, which is why you get sick. The water-based solution traps it all in there to help you not get sick, okay? Another cool aspect of what we have is we have this thing called, well, let me rephrase this. We call it the green stuff, okay? It has some scientific, blah, blah, blah name that I will bore you with and probably mispronounce 10 times before I get it right. So we're going to call it the green stuff. So the green stuff, let's throw it in there and let's put it on high. All right, do you smell that? Okay. What does that scent remind you of? You really have to think about, what does that remind you of? The dentist, okay. I don't really like to think about the dentist, but sure, that's a good thing to think about. So why does it remind you of the dentist? Because it's a clean smell, okay? So what this is a natural cleaning solution, okay? This will help clean all those toxins. Now, you're not only purifying the air, you're not only getting all those toxins in, but you're also releasing all the clean air ingredients to help kill bacteria in the air, okay? So if your kid gets sick or your wife's sick, it spreads throughout the house. Inevitably, if one person gets sick, anyone else in that house is going to get sick. best thing to do whenever you're feeling onset or one of them gets sick, drop it in, put one cap full, throw it in there, turn it on high, let it run for about 15-20 minutes, bam. You will actually feel a difference in the house. And that's another thing you gotta think about is how much do you spend on copay? $35? Okay. Well, let's be conservative, so to help me do math. Let's say you spend $30 a month, roughly, on copays. Okay, that's $300 a year. It's $3,000 for 10 years. That's $9,000 for 3 years. Okay, or 30 years. Sorry. Now, 32 and a half years life expectancy of a rainbow. That's $9,000 you're spending on just copays alone. Doesn't count for the chicken noodle soup, Gatorade, anything else you want to try to do to make yourself feel better. Okay, so you're absorbing those costs by simply using this. The reason this is mine for the dentist office is because they put this in a ventilation system. Because whenever you go to the dentist office, the doctor's office, or anything like that, you're going to get treated for something. You're not going to get something else contributing to it. So when you put this into the ventilation system, that purifies the air to help kill those toxins or those bacteria that are in the air that could cause you to be even sicker whenever you leave, or cause something else to happen when you're at the dentist office, or just stuff in that nature, because you want to make sure that you're going in there and coming out of there with 100% readiness and effectiveness of why you went to the first. Now, NASA also uses this in their environment to make sure it's a zero clean environment. So basically, they want to make sure that all the toxins, the purification, bacteria, all of that is out of the air, so they're working in a 100% sustainable environment. So you want to make sure that their environment is not susceptible to bacteria, toxins, or any other pollutants that can be in the air. They want to make sure that they use the purification system too. Now, I can tell you that whenever my parents, whenever we do the demo, other than them being mad at me for wasting their time and spending time with my wife, which they loved, their main thing was that they try to invite our family over as much as possible to bond or socialize and whatnot. Now, my brother and sister-in-law, they're a little bit of a germphobes, and they keep my nephews and nieces in a very much of a closed-knit environment. So whenever they brought them over, my mom was thinking, well, I want to make sure that our air is cleanest, and that way they can't blame us for anything, which they'll blame anyway. You know how brothers and sisters are. Yeah, you get blamed for everything. So that's what their number one thing. And this, because you don't think about what else is coming in the air. I mean, you know that what you're shedding is those skin cells. But what about what's on your feet? Everywhere you walk, no matter if you walk to the grocery store, the doctor's office, your job, you're picking up everybody else's pollutants. You know, when you're coughing, you're actually coughing up blood bacteria, basically, into the air. So that's sticking to your clothes, sticking to your shoes. So when you're walking through that door, you're not the only person coming home. You're bringing other people's stuff home with you. So this right here will help kill those other toxins, those other pollutants that you don't think about coming in with you other than just you. And my mom likes to, when she was watching this, her biggest phrase was, it slices, it dices, it does this, it does that. Because it really does. You not only think about it as a vacuum, which we'll show you in a minute, but it also does the purification. It does the scents. You know, we talked about with the RainMate how it helps with cut down your candles, cut down your air sprays, your plugins. This is the bigger version, much bigger version of that, because you can use the same oils that you use in the RainMate for this. So not only can you throw this in, put it on high, throw that in there, and make the house smell good, you also can use it whenever you're cleaning the carpet. So what was your favorite scent? The orange? Okay. All right, so if you're taking the orange and you want to go clean your son's room, you want to go clean your bedroom, what you would do is whenever you turn the vacuum on, you're going to put it on high, and you're down a few of these in there, and then clean the floor. So not only are you revitalizing your carpet and making it more plush, you're also putting a fragrance into there to come up out of the carpet. So it's not just like a spray where you're spraying it in thin air and it's dropping down and it's gone in 5 minutes. This is actually infusing into your carpet, into the air, and it's going to make your carpet fresh, it's going to make the air fresh, and it's just going to be an overall better environment for you. Alright, so this whole time we've been talking about the actual rainbow itself, okay? You know, we've been turning it off and on, I've shown you the floodlights, show you the dust particles that are actually going into the water basin, okay? So let's just look. If you can see a very big difference in what's in there. See, there's actually a little dog hair in there too, okay? Now, I've only been running this for what, 15, 20 minutes that we've been talking? Okay, and again, you saw Cooper bring the water straight from your sink, so I didn't throw anything in there, I was right in front of you the whole time. But you can see just what that did in the few minutes that it's been on. Imagine what it can do when you're leaving it on all day, or when you turn it on high once a week. Imagine what else can actually go in there and purify your air.